Morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and I was always told I had a voice for radio, and today I am going to be telling you why you should be excited for the new Wii U game, Pokken Tournament. Now, as of Friday, March the 18th, that is this coming Friday, for those keeping count, we will all be able to play this game, and I'm going to record some footage, and I'm going to be putting a whole bunch of Pokken Tournament games on this channel. Regular watchers, do not be offended. TCG content will keep coming as normal, and there is a fancy new banner. I'm just trying to bring more love to more people because, I think that's a nice thing to do. So because of that, today I'm going to be showing you just the reasons why I'm personally excited, and then of course I encourage all of you to share the reasons you're excited in the comments. And because everybody seems to like lists seem to be a common thing, things that people really get excited about and can argue about. Might I remind you, there's a comment section. So at number 10, you can customize your avatar. Now Pokemon.com has avatars, and you can customize your character with all kinds of Pokemon themed suits and the such. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like in Pokken Tournament, but it has been confirmed you're going to be able to have a Santa suit. And I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but I intend to be playing this game at Christmas. And when I do, I quite like the idea that I can be dressed as a Santa while I play. And that my avatar will also be dressed as a Santa while I play. At number 9, it looks gorgeous. The detail on some of the character models makes me happy. For somebody who's used to playing the Game Boy and DS games and is used to looking at these cards, seeing them fully rendered in high definition is just beautiful. And might I remind you that it is going to be running in full HD, that's 1080p, at 60 frames a second, and this looks absolutely gorgeous. And any excuse to see these wonderful characters in this kind of environment rendered this well makes me pretty happy indeed. At number 8, there is a good mix of characters. So we've got people like Lucario, who we knew were going to be there because they're fighting Pokemon, and Machamp's going to be in it. But yeah, we know it's Machamp, he's a fighting Pokemon. Of course he's going to be in it. And then you've got Mewtwo, who I suppose we could have seen Mewtwo coming. But then we've got Suicune, who is neither the most popular Pokemon, and indeed, he's a quadruped. And you very, very rarely see quadrupeds in fighting games. And that alone gets me excited. The fact they're willing to put a character like Chandelure in the game that really doesn't make a huge amount of sense makes me pretty gosh darn excited for possibilities of future characters that might be revealed through downloadable content. Might I also remind you that Chandelure is in the game. And if you look at all the Pokemon and think, which would make the most sense in a one-on-one fighting game, I don't think many people would count for Chandelure. Now let's just get Mamoswine in the game and we'll be sorted. At number 7, support Pokemon. I love the idea of support Pokemon. You get to pick a pair of 2 support Pokemon, and from what I understand, it is a pair of 2. You don't get to mix and match, and then you get to call on them to help you in your game. Firstly, this adds another little element of strategy to the game, and secondly, it just means more Pokemon are in the game. So I, for one, am all in favour of having support Pokemon. Some are going to help you with more health, some are going to help you with attack, some are going to help you with defense. It helps with strategy, and it gets more Pokemon rolling into the game, and that can only be a very, very good thing. At number 6, you can actually level up these characters. So you can pick a Pokemon and play with it for a while, and then level it up. Maybe you make someone that's wholly focused on attack. Maybe you make one that's wholly focused on defense. Maybe you get one which is wholly focused on synergy, and then figure out what that actually means, because I'm going to learn on Friday, and I'm going to learn everything I can about Pokken Tournament, and I'm going to be relaying it to you lovely people on this channel. But as it stands at the moment, synergy, what does that mean? At number 5, and this is what I think made me, I was excited for the game as it happened, but this is, I think, what made me really excited for the game. We're getting a new controller. Nintendo turned around and went, look, we like the Wii U controller, it's a thing of beauty, it has a screen inbuilt, it allows us to do cool little things in various games. And I do use this in Pikmin 3, which in a previous take I referred to as Pikmin 3, which means I totally have got Pokken on the brain, which I still consider to be a good thing. I use this to track my route around the world and look at maps and stuff, and it was really quite useful. But it doesn't look good for a fighting game, so Nintendo are releasing a new gamepad just for Pokken Tournament, and it looks exactly like the kind of gamepad that I want when I'm playing a fighting game. Now, I have already pre-ordered the game, and I've pre-ordered one of these pads, and I, for one, am excited. Number 4, it looks like they've really thought this through. So for instance, Pokemon are not hitting for weakness. So as an example, we've got Charizard and Sceptile in the game. Now, if this was a Game Boy game, or indeed a 3DS game, or indeed the trading card game, and one player was fighting with Charizard and one player was fighting with Sceptile, the whole weakness thing would be a bit of an issue. So what they've said incredibly sensibly, it's Namco that are making it on behalf of Pokemon, them what make Tekken, and what they've said is, look, we're ignoring the whole weakness thing, and yes, I know that's not quite in tune with Pokemon, but it would entirely ruin the game. And it's not hard to imagine that another company might release a Pokemon fighting game and they wouldn't put the same thought into it, and you would have this happening, and it would really, really kill the game. Or maybe you would go through as a trainer and you'd have to pick a Pokemon before every fight, not unlike being able to change your deck before every fight in the Game Boy Color Pokemon trading card game. It either ruined the game or took all the challenge out. That's not what they're doing. They've also seen that there's 2 phases to the game. There is a running around in 3D and there is a 2D plane section. And in the running around section of the game, in full 3D, the over-the-shoulder view basically means one player is always going to have a rubbishy view. Well, they thought about this, because one player is going to play on the telly, and one player is going to be playing on the Wii U gamepad. So they both get the over-the-shoulder view. Although, and this is a full-on, I am excited for Pokken Tournament video, and I don't want to bring in too many negatives, but there are 2 things which are going to suck if you're the player playing on the gamepad. Number 1, it knocks it down to 30 frames a second, which means it looks less beautiful, and also the Wii U gamepad does not display in full HD. And secondly, this is wireless. And as really competitive fighting game fans will tell you, you don't use wireless controllers when you're really going for competitive. There is a tiny, tiny, tiny amount of lag, which in really competitive fighting games can be the difference between a win and a loss. It's why in fighting tournaments everybody uses wired arcade sticks rather than wireless gamepads. But let's not take away from the fact they've clearly thought this through, and this is a very good thing. Number 3, online play. Yes, I know this is cheating a little bit. It's a fighting game. It's 2016. Of course, it has got online play. Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I don't mind, because I've got a lot of friends with Wii U's. I've got multiple friends who are buying Wii U's to play Pokken. A lot of people watching this channel, I imagine, have Wii U's. I know some of them have told me that they do. And it means that I can play online with lots and lots of different people, and that is going to make me very happy indeed. Number 2, this is turning into an actual organised play situation. There is a $100,000 prize pool for Pokken Tournament this year. Now, over every tournament, it's not actually as much as it sounds. It's not like there's one winner-takes-all tournament. But in the UK, or indeed in Europe as a whole, you can go to UK Nationals, German Nationals, or Italian Nationals, and you can go and play Pokken Tournament, and you can qualify for the World Championships. It's also turning up at fighting tournaments like EVO. Put quite simply, ladies and gentlemen, they are taking this seriously, and they are straight away trying to get a competitive community going. And when you combine how awesome this game looks, with the fact you can play it online, and the fact that they're really trying to turn it into an online fighter, and one that has competitive play that they're clearly going to be supporting for years to come. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if this takes off, if people actually start playing this at tournaments, I assure you this will only be the tip of the iceberg. The prize pool will grow every year, and our opportunities to play it in a competitive environment will only grow every year. And that's the kind of news that makes somebody like me turn around and go, you know what? I fancy making some Pokken videos for my Pokemon TCG channel, because almost without exception, and feel free to put it in the comments if you disagree, when I talk to people who like Pokemon, whether it's the video games or the trading card game or just the cute characters, when they find out about Pokken Tournament, most people tend to be excited. And of course, number 1, leading on from that, and a complete and utter cop-out as my number 1 reason to be excited for Pokken Tournament, it's a Pokemon fighting game. How awesome is that, just as a concept? Now, like most people of my age, I've been playing video games since I was a wee lad, and I was groomed on games like Street Fighter, like indeed Tekken, like Mortal Kombat, although for children watching, don't play Mortal Kombat, wait till you're older, please. So, I like me some 2D fighting games. When you include Pokemon, which, I mean, it shouldn't take many of you long to guess that I happen to be quite the Pokemon fan, and then you add in the online play and the competitive play, and oh my goodness, I could not be more excited for this game. So, as always, ladies and gentlemen, there is a like button. It's there for a reason. Click it. It'll take a second. You could indeed have clicked it by now, so go on, click it. I dare you. Clicked it? Good. And of course, if you disagree with anything I've said, or even you want to give me your own top 10 list of reasons why you're excited for Pokken Tournament, stick them down there in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do. I am hoping that my Pokken videos will bring in some new people to this lovely channel. And of course, if you have no interest in the trading card game whatsoever, well, don't worry. There's going to be a section, if you look below uploads, it will be right there. There is going to be a section on this channel just for Pokken Tournament games. And if you want to pop along to this channel, enjoy all the Pokken Tournament-y goodness, and ignore everything that I ever say about trading card game or anything Pokemon related other than Pokken Tournament, I won't be upset in the least. Look forward to Fridays, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be playing the game, I'm going to be posting videos, and I hope to see a whole bunch of you online and at tournaments in the very near future. As always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.